has our report.
The U.S. Department of Energy is funding 2 Russian institutes with about $4 million, and those institutes help Iran with their nuclear program in Bushehr. Evidence is found in Russian documents obtained by the General Accountability Office. Page after page shows various projects, and one page reads, "Integration of plant-shared equipment at Bushehr Nuclear Power Plant is in progress." An Energy Department official at the House Energy Committee hearing today had no answers.
I have not had time to fully investigate, but I have directed the principal deputy of the NNSA, Bill Ostendorf, to look into those questions and to report back to me.
He also added Bushehr is a commercial nuclear power plant, not military.
How, Mr. Secretary, do you then rhyme that statement with what the State Department said when they said this: Iran uses Bushehr as a cover and a protection for obtaining sensitive technology to advance its nuclear weapons program?
With respect to the Bushehr reactor, my understanding is that this is something that the President has spoken to President Putin about, that the proliferation issues have been discussed, and that that reactor remains under IAEA safeguards.
Nuclear non-proliferation experts say Russian help with Bushehr can be used in other projects.
What the Russians are actually helping to do is to bring a large reactor online which can make scores of bombs worth of plutonium per year, and we're hoping that the Iranians won't divert any of this material.
The rationale for the Department of Energy program was to pay the salaries of Russian scientists who were left without incomes after the Cold War. The thinking was to keep them on the payroll so they wouldn't peddle their nuclear expertise to rogue nations like Iran. Now, the House Energy Committee can't believe it, writing on the website, only this administration would complain about proliferation in Iran as part of the President Bush's axis of evil and then finance it with American taxpayer dollars. Lou?
This administration, everyone keeps talking about the legacy of this administration. Well, their legacy is mind-boggling, unbelievable, breathtaking incompetence and stupidity. That is going to be the legacy of the Bush administration. I mean, thank God that Congressman Dingell and Stupak are leading the way on this issue. I mean, how in the heck can a secretary of the Department of Energy, Samuel Bodman, even get up in the morning and think he has done anything but waste some of God's protoplasm if he can't run that department better than he is?
Well, you know, just the answers today were astonishing. I don't know. We'll check.
Unbelievable. The arrogant indifference and utter incompetence of this administration at every level. It is pervasive, it is shameful, and the fact that the American people have had to put up with this and continue to do so, it's just incredible. That is just an unbelievable story.
Yeah, it is unbelievable. There will be more new developments, I'm sure, on this.
Any thought to perhaps changing the direction of policy at the Energy Department?
They were defending the policy. They say that Russian institutes that participate in Bushehr are not disqualified from these funds. They were actually defending this policy today.
When I suggested there was a change in policy, I didn't for a moment go into some sort of Pollyanna lapse and assume that anyone in the Bush administration would be intelligent or sensitive enough to think about a change. But Congressman Dingell, Congressman Stupak, showing some considerable presence and frankly some forward-looking consideration. Are they demanding they change?
Yes, they are.
Kitty Pilgrim, again, terrific reporting. Really a lousy story for those who care about this country. Thank you. Well, time now for some of your thoughts. We're still hearing from...
I'd just like to point out,
yes,
because it hasn't been said, is that the host of this show, whose Iranian name is Qmars,
yes,
is himself Persian. He is from Iran, and he certainly knows more about the situation in that country than anyone that I've run into.
Sure. I mean, then again, this show is not about Iran, but recently they started doing the same thing that they did with Iraq's situation. That's why I brought it up. Yes, of course, I'm Iranian American. My root comes from Iran, but you know, this is my home now. America is my home. So, but at the same token, yes, of course, I have more information about Iran because, you know, I was born in Iran and I speak Persian. So, but why the U.S. government would do such a thing, meaning financing the Iranian nuclear adventure, and then person like Newcon, like Bolton, well, first of all, Newcon stands for what? New conservative?
New conservative.
But I call him New Con, like con artist, New Con artist. This person comes and, you know, nag about like why Israel is not attacking Iran. Are you kidding me? Like USA, America was financing Iran's nuke. Why a government like U.S. government would do such thing? Any idea, Carl? Any idea, Jim?
John Bolton during the Bush administration was over and over again regarded as a flaming idiot, and he was discredited. And how the news media keeps using him. You know, the Bush administration has been down now for 2 years. You know, we get to see Cheney pretty often, but why this the guy with the horrible mustache? Speaking of, you know, horrible mustaches. But Bolton was not a very respected figure. Do you recall that, Carl? During
yes, no, he wasn't, and he's also a former member of the Project for the New American Century, which goes back to
he was among that group,
which goes back to the 1992 document called A Clean Break, where they talk about how they want to build up the military spending in this country and dominance throughout the world, and also urge for an attack on Iran. Then it goes, he also was a signatory for some of the other documents they did, such as rebuilding strategies, or rebuilding America's defenses, I think it was called.
That was in 99, right?
Yeah.
I have a theory why U.S. government would do such thing, and why Bolton, who I don't think he's an idiot, he knows what he's doing, he's following his orders. And that is based on Hegel's problem, reaction, solution again. And I say that over and over until everybody knows that they should be, I mean, the so-called elites should be exposed. And shortly, what does that mean, the Hegelian dialectic? What does that mean? In short, the critical process by which the ruling elite create a problem, anticipating in advance the reaction that the mass or population will have to given crisis, and thus conditioning the people that a change is needed. You do heard about
I've heard of this. There are quite a few examples of that kind of thing.
There are constant examples.
Yeah, Hitler used that in history. As a matter of fact, the Roman Empire, I forgot the guy's name, he used that against Christians. He burned his own palace.
Yeah.
Yes, and then after that, he prosecuted Christians. He had basically the excuse to do that. So it's based on Hegel's philosophy. He was the 19th century German philosopher and theologist who wrote The Science of Logic, and he's one of the most effective philosophers in many. He was very influential on Karl Marx and the other guy, I forgot the name of the other.
Tolstoy?
No, not Tolstoy. Karl Marx and
Lenin?
Not Lenin. That's
I didn't mean John.
I forgot, but the